Just Meghan Markle's stage. We're expected to buy it. But she said she was in the trenches. She alludes to being in the trenches when she was in the British royal family. Girl, you lived in a castle. Like, you got a princess title. People were falling at your
People who come in your life sometimes to be there for a season. They weren't meant to be there always. Sometimes we find ourselves hooked up with people that we think are there for a lifetime, but they were only supposed to be there for a season.
Tyler Perry just dropped a bombshell that's shaken both Hollywood and the British royal family. The billionaire producer, once seen as the savior of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, has now leaked confidential recordings that seem to confirm long-held suspicions about their strategic maneuvering. Within mere hours, Harry was reportedly rushing back to the UK in a state of panic. At the time, Tyler Perry appeared to be the answer to Harry and Meghan's prayers when they turned their backs on royal tradition and left Britain amidst media frenzy and security dilemmas. It wasn't the monarchy or any member of the royal family who came to their aid, not Charles, not William, and not a friend with good intentions. It was Tyler Perry, Hollywood's billionaire powerhouse, with a private jet, a mansion fit for royalty, and security rivaling top government agencies who stepped in as their real-life guardian.
Meghan Markle recently said that you reached out to her and said, come, you can live in my home.
Yeah, it was a very difficult time for them. And what I know about the two of them, and I wish the world knew how much they love these two people love each other. They found each other out of all these odds against them finding each other, they found each other. And the love that they have is really, really moving. And I just wanted to do it.
Perry opened the doors to his Beverly Hills home, which became more than just a safe haven. It turned into what many referred to as the Sussex Sanctuary, a secluded estate far removed from paparazzi, royal staff, and gossip columns. For months, it was where Harry, Meghan, and little Archie began their life beyond the monarchy. But Tyler's support wasn't limited to providing shelter. He offered them his reputation, his public image, and his loyalty. Meghan was so moved that she named him godfather to their daughter, Lilibet, a title of deep significance in royal tradition. This wasn't just a kind gesture, it was a lasting symbol of gratitude. What followed seemed like a Hollywood success story, but not one made for entertainment. This was an expertly managed brand reinvention, costing millions and orchestrated by professionals. Harry and Meghan didn't simply evolve into their new roles. They engineered every step, and Tyler Perry, whether he knew it or not, became a key part of their narrative.
And he helped them out with no fanfare, and that's what he does continuously. He regularly gives to charities, provides aid to disaster sites, buys groceries for families. Shoot, he even took the vaccine on TV to prove it was safe.
Netflix captured every key moment on cue, perfectly staged scenes where Meghan's voice would tremble just enough to feel genuine as she praised Tyler's kindness. Every shot was meticulously designed to showcase him as the hero, the figure who embraced them when the royal family turned its back. The lighting was gentle, the music carefully chosen, and the storyline unmistakable. Tyler Perry had become part of their inner circle, but the polished scenes didn't tell the full story. Insiders involved in the production disclosed that those spontaneous moments had multiple takes. Meghan rehearsed her facial expressions. Harry memorized statements about feeling deserted by his birth family and uplifted by their new Hollywood family. Everything was pre-planned. Perhaps the most strategic element was the contrast they created. While King Charles and Prince William were portrayed as detached and formal, Tyler was presented as warm, giving, and emotionally supportive. It was a savvy public relations move that reframed their royal exit not as a loss, but a triumph. Tyler symbolized that they didn't need the monarchy, they had found acceptance and power among Hollywood's elite. Then came the $260 million lawsuit from Derek Dixon, and everything changed. The serious accusations painted a troubling picture of Perry's company, including claims of workplace toxicity and abuse of power. Almost overnight, Tyler's reputation flipped from beloved icon to public risk. And Meghan's reaction? Quick and unforgiving.
Tonight, facing a multi-million-dollar lawsuit by an actor who claims years of... The lawsuit, asking for $260 million, was filed by actor Derek Dixon, who was part of the BET series
The digital cleanup began almost instantly. Photos of Tyler Perry at Lilibet's christening were wiped from Instagram, disappearing without a trace. Mentions of Uncle Tyler vanished quietly, either deleted or hidden from public view. Even official acknowledgments of his godfather role were removed from press releases and website bios. The effort was deliberate, meticulous, and undeniably ruthless, but the internet has a long memory. Sharp-eyed royal followers quickly caught on, documenting the changes as they unfolded. Social media filled with screenshots showing the before and after. Edits to Meghan's posts, "Where's Tyler?" quickly began trending as people realized they were watching a live revision of recent history. What stood out most was how sudden it all was. This wasn't a slow fade or quiet distancing. It was immediate and complete, a drastic cut, likely driven by panic and the need to protect one's image. Tyler Perry, however, didn't become a billionaire by overlooking the fine print. When Harry and Meghan moved into his home, the residency agreement they signed included a specific clause, one that many would gloss over, but that Perry's legal team had inserted with foresight. It stated that in the event of a public disavowal by either party, the other retained the legal right to disclose information necessary to defend their reputation. In simple terms, if Meghan tried to erase their history together publicly, Tyler was fully within his rights to tell his side with evidence. And this wouldn't be vague posts or subtle hints. It meant full transparency, backed by records, tapes, and footage that could outshine even the most polished Netflix production. Harry had been recording from the beginning not to trap anyone, but as a precaution. It's a common practice in Hollywood among those who understand how deals and reputations work.
Meghan Markle, meet the truth. Truth, meet Meghan Markle. I don't think you know each other. In fact, I fear that you're complete strangers.
The conversations Perry witnessed during those key months were incredibly revealing. There were late-night discussions planning media appearances, disagreements over what details to share in interviews, and talks about how to push their victim narrative without seeming manipulative. Tyler wasn't a passive observer. He was the host, providing the secure environment where Harry and Meghan could speak freely. Sources close to Perry say he isn't just upset, he's calculating every step. This isn't emotional payback, it's strategic retaliation. With decades of experience building his brand, Perry knows how to defend it. He won't let two ex-royals jeopardize his name without consequence. That leaked audio clip, it wasn't accidental. It was a tactical move, a message to Harry and Meghan that he's holding serious material. In the clip, Meghan discusses how to appear selectively sympathetic while Harry complains about Netflix's content direction. But insiders say that was just the beginning. Reportedly, Perry holds over 17 hours of recordings, complete with detailed transcripts and private footage. These materials could dismantle the public image Harry and Meghan have worked so hard to build. But Perry isn't rushing. He knows the value of timing and plans to release damaging details piece by piece, ensuring each has maximum effect. The most troubling aspect, he has access to moments they believe were private when no cameras were thought to be rolling. Right now, their reputation is already suffering. And if any of Tyler's content leaks, it could be catastrophic. Yet beyond the public backlash lies a more immediate concern: finances. The damage isn't just reputational, it's financial. The couple's economic situation is deteriorating as quickly as their public standing. Their much publicized Netflix deal, once touted as a $100 million game changer, is reportedly worth closer to $20 million. And with their contract expiring this year and their content underperforming, chances of renewal appear slim.
Make more content or don't get paid. The streaming service has told the couple they have to come up with another show if they want to receive $60 million in out.
Archewell Productions, the media company founded by Harry and Meghan, has reportedly been bleeding funds. Projects like the Invictus series and a show about polo have failed to attract the kind of audience numbers Netflix was hoping for. Industry. Sources now say that platforms like Netflix are shifting away from high-risk exclusive deals and instead favoring more flexible first-look agreements. For Harry and Meghan, this shift could mean a sharp decline in potential earnings, assuming they get renewed at all. Their yearly expenses are reportedly overwhelming, putting them under financial strain that would force most people into bankruptcy. Their $14.65 million Montecito estate carries a hefty property tax bill of $288,000 each year. Security costs are estimated to be around $2 million annually. And when you factor in mortgage payments, staff wages, and the financial demands of maintaining their high-profile lifestyle, it's clear they're spending far more than they're making.
Problems that you know, they are eating into capital, and that they sort of, to an extent, been for much of their marriage eating to some capital. And also, he doesn't have that.
One of the clearest indicators of their financial troubles is a significant reduction in their staff since 2020. Reports suggest they've parted ways with up to 25 team members, including notable communications professionals like Charlie Gibson and Kyle Buyaya. This isn't careful cost-cutting. It appears to be an urgent response to financial stress. One royal insider put it bluntly, they go through staff as quickly as others go through toilet paper. In fact, they joke that even milk has a longer shelf life than some of Harry and Meghan's employees. This recurring turnover points to deeper issues, indicating they may no longer be able to sustain the professional support necessary to uphold their brand, with the looming threat of Tyler Perry's possible disclosures and their financial resources dwindling. The couple is staring down a serious crisis, one that threatens both their image and their ability to uphold their luxurious way of life. The fairy tale image is quickly unraveling. Adding to the concern is Meghan's reaction to public criticism over her Netflix lifestyle series, Love, Meghan, facing backlash over her use of luxury cookware and a lack of culinary qualifications. Meghan's response was reportedly dismissive, saying, "This is a thing into 0-5. That reaction, marked by disbelief at facing scrutiny, reflects a mindset where praise is expected and criticism is treated as outdated. It highlights a broader issue with Meghan's public persona. She wants the perks of fame, like endorsements and influence, but seems genuinely surprised when anyone questions her choices or credentials. It's a perspective that sees criticism not as part of public life, but as something unwelcome or unfair." But the public isn't so forgiving. Polls paint a grim picture of Meghan's standing. A YouGov survey conducted in May 2025 shows just 20% of Britons view her favorably, while 65% hold negative opinions, the worst numbers recorded since tracking began in 2017. Her reputation has been steadily declining for years, and now it's in free fall.
Meghan is coming under pressure here is because she has a track record of throwing very significant friends under the bus.
What's perhaps even more troubling for Meghan is her approval rating in the United States, her home turf, where she might have expected more support. Nearly 46% of Americans now view her unfavorably. This steep decline aligns closely with a clear behavioral trend. Meghan tends to retreat from the spotlight when moments demand integrity and visible leadership. The pattern is consistent during times when authenticity and accountability are needed. She becomes noticeably absent when friends like Tyler Perry face public scrutiny. Meghan disappears. When her own projects receive valid criticism, her reaction isn't engagement, it's confusion. These disappearances are now starting to have very real professional consequences, extending far beyond declining popularity polls, test screenings. For with Love, Meghan Season 2 reportedly received underwhelming responses, with viewer feedback described as dismal. Inside sources say Netflix executives are alarmed, as even Meghan's most loyal followers appear to be losing interest. Her podcast project with Lemonada Media, once expected sooner, has been postponed to 2025 officially to avoid scheduling clashes, but insiders suggest it's more about growing concerns over her faltering public image and the potential fallout from the Tyler Perry situation. When your own projects get delayed due to reputational risks, it's a clear signal of serious trouble. Multiple reports confirm that several investors are now backing out of Meghan-affiliated ventures, citing her deteriorating public perception as a key reason. One film producer allegedly pulled support for a Netflix pitch within hours of Perry's supposed comments at the BET Awards. Another investor was blunt, saying, "I don't want to be involved in anything that feels this toxic." Perhaps most revealing is Meghan's reaction to criticism about how she's viewed by the public. During an appearance on the Aspire with Emma Agreed podcast, when asked what she would change about public perception, Meghan replied, "I would ask people to tell the truth." This response speaks volumes. It shows someone who believes the issue lies not with her actions or image, but with how others interpret them. It's a mindset that assumes the public is misinformed rather than reflecting on the choices that have led to widespread skepticism. That detachment collided hard with reality recently, as multiple sources confirmed Harry and Meghan have dismissed their entire external PR team in an effort to curb escalating costs. Their Sydney-based firm, Sunshine Sachs, along with its London counterpart, has been let go as Archewell scrambles to manage financial shortfalls.
Meghan Markle have reportedly let go of several staff members, including their PR team. This is apparently in an effort to save some.
This move is particularly drastic when you consider that image management has long been Meghan's go-to strategy. She hired high-level crisis PR teams well before the Oprah interview even aired and invested millions into polished documentaries, branded podcasts, and carefully crafted social media content. Letting go of the very experts who built that image is equivalent to selling off a chandelier to keep the lights on. Meghan once prided herself on having some of the best communications teams in the industry. Now, those professionals have been replaced by an in-house assistant who, according to sources, has never dealt with a global media crisis. The message it sends is damaging. Donors perceive cost-cutting, investors sense instability, and critics see the signs of a brand heading toward financial collapse.
But I do have a source that is a proud member of the Sussex Survivors Club who told me she's still experiencing issues after leaving Meghan's employment. And the way she treated me, she says, of Meghan, can only be described as
why the sudden shakeup. According to sources close to their financial advisor, Harry and Meghan are facing a looming financial crisis in the 8-figure range. The Montecito mortgage isn't waiting on the next Netflix renewal. Security teams, childcare staff, landscapers, and private chefs all expect timely payments. The Spotify partnership fell through, and Netflix has reportedly signaled it won't be greenlighting another multi-million-dollar deal. Their monthly spending has become unsustainable. Letting go of the PR team might cut a few $100,000 in costs, but it also highlights the central flaw in Harry and Meghan's business model. Their only real asset is control of their personal story. Turning private struggles into marketable content is what sustains them. Removing the storytellers invites instability. Who answers when questions arise about Tyler Perry's recordings? Who prepares the response if British tabloids leak financial documents? Meghan was portrayed extremely poorly.
Ugly when Harry wasn't around. But as soon as Harry was around, and another point they made was the mask slipped after about 6 weeks.
The timing also raises eyebrows. The layoffs were reported the same week Archewell's tax filings showed a nearly 30% drop in donations year over year. Even more alarming, the unrestricted funds, the ones they can use to pay themselves, fell at an even sharper rate. In the world of philanthropy, this signals serious trouble ahead. First come the donation freezes, then the disappearance of high-profile speaking invitations, followed by creditors asking tough questions about financial backing. Once praised as a branding powerhouse, Meghan is now being seen as a fading asset. Industry insiders hint that audiences are growing tired. People can only watch so many slow-motion chicken coop scenes before turning elsewhere. Companies that once eagerly sought Sussex partnerships are now reassessing the potential fallout, worried that another damaging audio leak could tarnish their brand by association. Inside their Montecito home, morale is reportedly low. Staff who weren't let go describe an environment filled with anxiety, where updated job descriptions are being distributed alongside fresh non-disclosure agreements. One source joked that the only department seeing growth is legal. At the same time, Prince Harry is said to be reaching out to his old Invictus network in search of paid speaking engagements, a stark contrast to the days when corporations eagerly backed anything bearing the Sussex name. Cutting the communications team may offer short-term financial relief, but it jeopardizes long-term stability. Future scandals, leaked calls, or paparazzi shots of incomplete renovations will now unfold without a skilled team to manage the fallout. And when Tyler Perry inevitably releases more footage, the only ones left to handle the backlash will be Harry and Meghan, the same people whose decisions led to this crisis. At that stage, their silence may do more damage than the scandals themselves, and there it is, the moment many anticipated. Prince Harry, the man who burned bridges in pursuit of a Hollywood legacy, is now scrambling to get back to the UK like his future depends on it. Tyler Perry's damning revelations have left the couple isolated, no allies, no cover, and no reputation left to defend. The man who once rescued them is now their biggest threat. Holding 17 hours of recordings that could dismantle their entire public image, Harry's return to Britain isn't a triumphant comeback, it's a retreat from a crumbling dream. The prince who once aspired to Hollywood royalty is now fleeing the chaos he helped create, showing that sometimes the only option left is to go back to where it all began.